Okay. So we're here to talk to Tommy from the Casanovas, but we're having a couple of technology hiccups. Yeah, so he's just trying to. He's never used this thing before, so he's a little out of his depth. So I'm just waiting for him to come in. He was trying to join the wrong thing, and then and then he's trying to do so, like, to do it on his phone as well, which computer, which generally doesn't work. So we'll just see if he can click on and join. No, doesn't look like he can. Okay, we're just going to give him a couple of minutes, to download Instagram onto his phone. Oh dear. But yeah, as I was saying earlier before I had to drop out, during bushfire season here we had a lot of fundraisers. So I worked together with the lovely Mary at Spotted Mallard, and we put together a bushfire relief show, and I helped out booking quite a few bands for that 2-night show. And one of the bands that I chose was Casanovas. So it was and of course Dallas Crane, and it was amazing just to see the response of them playing live again. It's been really an experience, and so I'm excited to speak to Tommy when he comes on. He's not. I'm finding this out the hard way, that pretty much majority of musicians do not know what they're doing when it comes to Instagram, etc. I mean, I just learnt it myself as well. So, but now I'm like apparently the oracle, teaching everybody how to do it. Okay, so it looks like I think we have a go. So let's just see if he's joining now. Yeah, he's still. I think he's just downloading the app still, so he's just trying to come in, but not working. If anyone has any questions at all, feel free to write them down below. There is a section below with the question mark, and that's the. Oh, now you get to see my Yoda, baby Yoda. And again, sorry, we're just having some issues here. They're not joining in. Okay, here we go. And make sure that Tommy's not going to be doing an interview with Baby Yoda. Okay, it should be coming through now. Again, thank you so much for waiting. He's upside down, but you're here.
Hey, how you doing?
Yay!
So
It's
sorry.
all good. No, it's all good. I should have mentioned it to you because someone else did the same thing, and I didn't know that either until I first tried it. So, yeah, it
I
was a
had
bit of
no idea.
hectic.
I've never even used Instagram in my life, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I gave a forewarning that there may be a semi hiccup.
I was kind of just on
Um,
the computer, like, where the hell's this request? And I got a bit, yeah.
well, you're here now, so it's all good.
Mm,
It's awesome to see you, obviously.
Great to
Um,
see you.
And how are you? What are you up to at the moment during this crazy?
Um, I've been um I've been writing songs and
You're a tiny bit blurry, but that might just be your connection.
could be my phone's from like 1984 as well. So,
That doesn't surprise me.
yeah. So, yeah, I've been writing songs and surfing a lot as well.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Spent the last few days
Where are you going to
down
surf?
Port Campbell
Hmm.
and Peterborough, Joanna, you know.
Around those bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so you're just working on new stuff and all that jazz at the moment.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
there's also just a bit of stuff to do around the new release as well.
Yep.
So just that kind of stuff. But otherwise, yeah, writing songs for new record. You know,
Yeah. Is this
yeah.
for the next one or the one that's coming out in August?
Next one, the one
Yeah.
that's coming out
Yeah, it's
like all
already.
finished last year. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I assumed.
it's,
I'm like, you should not write it. You must be writing for
yeah,
the next, because that
the
one's
time.
coming out real soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't want to leave it that
yeah.
late. So there's quite a few people that are joining us from overseas, so from the US and the UK. So for those Australian people who might know some of these things, the other guys don't. So I might repeat some things that you guys already know. Um, but just to start off, I was going to say, Casanova started in like '99, and it was, essentially you and your brother's idea to start with, and
Mm.
then you joined with the bassist, who I understand you met while he was scrubbing pots and pans or something in the kitchen somewhere.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then of course there's been a few changes. Like your brother left at one
Hmm.
point. So yeah, there's been like quite a few. And then, I mean, '99, I was trying to think, I was like, geez, it's been a while. I didn't realize how long it had been. And now you've got your current lineup, which,
Yeah. So
yeah, which is Brett
yeah,
Wolfe,
well,
and
I've had
yeah,
yours, of course.
yeah,
Jordan Stanley from Onyas and the Meanies.
uh-huh,
So he was in the band for since from 2004 till last year.
yeah, yeah,
So long time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, so it's that whole new lineup. I was just saying, like the last time I saw you guys was, of course, when I got you to come and play the benefit. And I'm sorry
Yeah.
your cord got stolen and never got found.
No,
Someone ran off with it, I reckon.
it's really funny too because I just replaced it. Like I ordered a new one on eBay, the same sort,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
the eBay sent me the wrong one.
Oh no. So now you
Like
gotta
that.
go. So it's like some kind of jinx. That's what
Yeah, it's been nicked.
yeah, apparently everyone looked everywhere, and I kept on, and I was like painfully harassing everybody, to the point of like they were gonna punch me in the face if I asked one more time. And I was like, you've got to find it. It looks like
Yeah.
this. But yeah, I reckon someone nicked it, unfortunately. They just threw it
I
in all their stuff, and they're probably like, wow, this is really cool. Not mine, but I like it. Maybe
like
you'll
bummer.
maybe you'll see him on stage with it when local shows start happening again.
Probably have to go like with a magnifying glass and look at the
Yeah,
words on
look
the
for the
can.
little thing. um, yeah, and so that was the last time. Yeah, that so and yeah, and it was an awesome show. Like it was a really good
I
show,
think
and
that was so.
it was tons of fun that particular night that you played. And I remember, I think I saw you play with the Datsuns a long time ago. And for some reason, I keep thinking you played with the Donners, but am I wrong or am I right?
Yeah, good with the Donnas.
Was that turn? I'm just trying to think I was trying to think which album it was. Was it the last album they did? The
No, it
one,
was like so many albums ago.
yeah, yeah,
That was 2003.
yeah, yeah. Because I was like, I remember seeing you play with them because I'm a huge fan of them, and I'm seen every show that they've done here, and I remembered seeing you play with them, and I love the Datsuns as well. I kind of
Yeah.
wonder where the Datsuns are now, like, and why they're not sort of playing.
Well, they all live so far apart.
Right.
Like Dolph's in Sweden, Christian's in England, and Phil's in New Zealand.
Ah, see, I thought they were just all in New Zealand. I didn't realize they
No,
were
uh,
all
Dolph
over.
got jacked up with a girl in Sweden, and because Dolph, of course, plays for Helicopters and
Yes.
Imperial State.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah,
is what, yeah, which is just good. But yeah, I remembered seeing you with those guys, and of course, yeah, with the Donnas back in the day. Um,
love those bands. They're so good.
yeah, yeah, they're such fun, and I think like that period of time was like it was a real rock and roll time. Like it was when
Sure.
it was when like it was just like rock coming out. There was of course Darkness at the time when they first came
Yep.
out, and yeah, there was so much really good rock, and of course like huge like Turbo Negro when they released Scandinavian Leather, that like went
Mm,
mental here, and like
mm.
so it was a
I was
really
big
good.
in. Oh no, no, sorry. Apocalypse Dudes was a huge inspiration for us. I remember,
Yeah, the
like,
one before, yeah.
yeah, because that just came out around the time we were starting the band. It was just like, whoa, what this is so good, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Had
think
a, we had a tribute, a Turbo Negro tribute band.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Damo and Jaws. Yeah, they called the Apocalypse Dudes, and we used to do the album start to finish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I know.
that
I
was
never.
really good.
I
We did
can't.
really. We had other guys, obviously, like we had five of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Keelan from Cockfight Shootout,
Yep.
and Steve from Mustang,
Mhm.
and we used to. Yeah, it was really good. We had so much fun doing those shows. That was really cool.
Man, you should do some more. I don't think
I,
I ever heard of it.
I would love to do more. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm actually.
Jaws,
I.
I think
I.
Jaws. Bali. See anything?
What's that?
Jaws lives in Bali.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Holly.
yeah.
Jesus.
So not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, you could always find a replacement, if you have
Yeah,
to.
that's true. Yeah.
Um, but like yeah, I've actually been in talks with Honk. I don't know why I said that. With Hank, with
Hey,
Hank.
Honk.
Hey Honk, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been talking with Hank Von Hell and his management about trying to get him on here. So, because I
Uh,
don't know if you know, he has a side, he has his own band now.
yeah, no, no. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the guy just has so much craziness to say. So I'm
Mm.
really hoping he decides to come and do it. It's just a matter of pushing him, I think. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, because I don't know if you I stopped listening to Turbo Negro actually pretty much after he left. So um,
I
yeah,
I concur. Me too.
yeah. So for me, Hank is Turbo Negro. So
For me, it's the
controversial.
combination.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like anything prior to, Hank Prior is
Yeah.
like my, that's the Turbo for me. Um,
Mm.
when I was at a festival in America and I watched the first like festival run
Mm.
of the new lineup, and
Mm. Mm.
I left after two songs. So let's just say I didn't like it very much.
It's
It doesn't have the panache that the old one did. So like
I agree.
they had the costumes, they had the you know like they were just wearing
Mm.
regular clothes, and
Yeah, all right.
and the singer's just like he's just a punk like
Mm.
yeller. So like
Yeah, it
it
doesn't
just doesn't have
high,
that
like
same.
really high and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't really have that like whoa, like even like what was it, the all my friends are dead, and like the party one, that was amazing, that party album as well, like you know it's like, yeah, but then after that it's kind of turned into a different thing. But yeah,
But
anything pre that I'm a big fan of. But yeah,
likewise.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was a brilliant time for anything to do with rock and roll. And I remember just like it was maybe even earlier than that, like we had the Spazzies and um
Mm.
what was Pelican? Mac
Mac Pelican.
Pelican? Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember all the bands
Well, we
around and
we did our first ever gig with the Powder Monkeys.
yeah. So yeah,
Yep.
I was reading that.
Yeah, like we played at the Commercial Club Hotel, which is now the Northwood Social Club. And
Yes.
the way we got onto it, we went to the show just to watch the Powder Monkeys, and the support band didn't turn up,
Yep.
so we just borrowed instruments and
And
played our
went
first.
up.
Yeah, we played 5 or 6 songs that we'd learnt,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
went down well and stuff. So that was a good time.
Yeah, definitely. And then
But
like,
just
you know, keep going. You're right.
yeah, well, we kind of idolized them, so
So it
it
was
was
a
a big
big
thing.
deal.
Yeah,
And did they say anything to you afterwards? Like were they
yeah, 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 yeah. No, the team was really supportive. Always, they were always really in our corner for sure.
oh awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, and you've had like um you've had like what, 3 albums and quite a lot of singles. And then of course you've got the new album which is coming out in August, I think the 28th.
yep,
But you can pre-order it now
yeah,
through Rubber Records, I believe.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's Reptilian Overload. I was like, where did this name
Overlord,
come from?
Overlord. Yeah.
Overlord, Overload, ugh, Overlord. You know, because
No, it's quite funny
it
to say that.
reminded me of that old show V, and I was like, have
Yeah,
they been watching V or something?
I didn't know where I get from. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. There's one song called Reptilian Overlord on the record, and so that's the title track.
Yeah, 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 and the art looks cool as well.
Yeah, it's really
But
funny that you called it Reptilian Overload because
yeah,
the artist.
that's me
No, it's
reading
funny.
my own writing, which is a
Yeah.
mess.
Like the artist that we commissioned to do the cover, when he sent back like one of the first drafts,
It was
it was
overload.
was load. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Oh
But
well,
he's
that always happens with graphic designers, though.
yeah, they're awesome graphic designers. Yeah, Branca Studio
Yeah,
out of Bar-
yeah,
I know.
he's
That's
brilliant. They do
yeah.
amazing merch. Like their
Like,
all their merch and stuff is just so good. Like,
oh, they're so good.
and they've gotten massive now because they do like loads of UK, Europe, and US artists now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's just one guy or more than
Yeah,
one
I
guy, but like
went
they,
with one called sorry. Yeah, I think he's the
yep, you're right.
guy. I just yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just, yeah, it's literally just him, but he's just a
Can't believe
gun.
it.
Yeah.
He is a gun, for
And
sure.
he must just do all the design. Maybe he has someone who goes and puts it to t-shirt and puts it to blah and all that stuff. But yeah, the stuff, because he puts out his own stuff as well as the merch stuff, from what I can
Yeah.
understand. So yeah, but yeah, his stuff is just great. So, and everyone's jumping on it. So it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Are
Clothing
you gonna
us.
get like the same art like for the shirts?
Oh
Are you
yeah.
gonna have, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that cover
it's
was
just
gonna
such a
look so
but. Yeah, it's gonna look
good.
good on a shirt. Yeah, I was just gonna say, and then obviously you
The
just gotta
really
wait.
funny thing, the woman that played Diana from V, where
Yeah,
that picture's taken from, she lives in
yeah.
Melbourne.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's next level. I used to watch V like religiously when I was a kid.
When I was scared the living daylights out of me, just the big tongue coming out and stuff. I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah. Remember when
like
they break through like their cocoon?
yeah, tear off
And
it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's fucking scary. If they redid it now with
Mm.
like new effects and stuff, like crazy effects, like it would be 10 times scarier, but it was so scary at the time.
But
Now it's
I'm always I love old effects over CGI
yeah,
ones.
over new ones, yeah. I don't like the
Like,
CGI. I like it when they mix like animatronics and like they do stuff like that rather than the
mhm,
CGI crap. But
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, it was petrifying at the time. I remember,
Mm.
yeah, my dad and me were both obsessed, and so we used to watch it religiously. And then
Awesome.
it just ended, and it was like this. We got real pissed off. It was like those
Yeah,
when they just end the season, it's like
yeah,
bye, and there's no answer. I was like, no, yeah. I
totally.
used to be way into it. Like we had the DVDs and everything. It's like,
Mm.
yeah, reptilian race. But that's amazing that she actually. How did you find out she
Pretty,
lives here?
someone, because we posted the cover on Facebook,
Yeah.
someone commented and told us.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
I'd love to chat to her about V.
totally. So I want to get like introduce the band at our album
Oh
launch.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that would be amazing. Get her to come up. See if
Wearing
she'll
a
wear,
suit.
yeah,
Yeah.
wear the if she's got the suit, yeah, and get her to come up. I mean, because it
That'd be
was
so.
like because it was so B grade as well. It wasn't like Star Trek suits or like anything. It was like real B, like super B grade suits with this really bad
Brad, kind of
V. Yeah,
big shoulders. Yeah.
and that was
But
the
there's also
beauty. It was the beauty of it, though.
totally was. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
but it, it's also in the song like the song that I've written about that it's more about the kind of David Icke angle.
yes. Hmm.
Yeah, which is hilarious or,
Yeah,
scary,
yeah.
whichever way you
We
at
want to
it.
put
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing just that song now. And
Definitely.
I'm mega excited to know that that chick is here.
Oh no, me too. Me
It's
too.
just like I think it's where some strange like B grade actors and weird musicians and stuff move here and just like never tell anyone.
Yeah,
And then you find out like randomly that they've been living here for ages,
yeah. Yeah,
hiding.
strange. Yeah, but it makes sense. It's a good town. It's a good country.
Yeah. But the fact that
Great area.
she's actually in Melbourne and she's never maybe she yeah, like yeah, but you got to get her to introduce for sure.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no doubt. Even if you do a film clip for that song, she needs to be in it.
most definitely. So,
You need to somehow work that angle
yeah,
in.
my
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got to work that
yeah,
angle in somehow because it's just too good to not take
definitely.
advantage of. Um,
Most definitely.
yeah. I was gonna say the original Casanovas, the idea of it and stuff, that was kind of inspired um, in a way by Kiss. Is that right? It was something to do with
Uh,
their
yeah, I would
some.
basically
I'll
like
let you tell
Kiss
the
definitely.
story.
That's okay, yeah. When we started, I mean, yeah, Kiss was definitely a big influence. And I I wanted to call it something else. I think I wanted to call it Casablanca after the
Yes,
Casa
yeah, I did see that somewhere. Yeah,
logo.
yeah, yeah,
I just love that logo.
yeah.
But then Jimmy, our bass player, um, came up with the name the Casanovas, and um, I kind of at first was a bit like, oh, that's a bit like audacious.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
we just went with it anyway.
But if you went with Casablanca, would it just be Casablanca or the
Yeah, I think so.
Casablancas? Yeah. See,
Just Casanova. I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
See, I vote
I think that,
Casanovas.
yeah. Well, Casanovas is more memorable. Yeah,
Yeah, like I think like yeah, and
but
it's kind of tongue in cheek and it works with the music. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because it's kind of
yeah,
like that cheeky rock and roll, like
yeah.
getting drunk, booze and chicks and blah blah blah, and like all that kind of stuff. And it's like, and
The,
then you call
the
yourself
truth
the Casanovas.
it couldn't be further from the truth, though.
Or
Unfortunately,
maybe back then, maybe back in the day, but yeah,
maybe a little bit back.
now we're all old.
No, right, yeah,
So now things have changed. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and then I think there was yeah, you were talking about there was Kiss and then
Okay,
um
so back in those days, like 1999, don't like in back in the late 90s, there was a real big sort of you know, late 70s New York punk renaissance.
Hmm.
I remember reading that book, Please Kill Me,
Yep. Another one.
by Lex.
Hmm.
And I think because like in that book, like it talks a lot about bands that just were like, hey
I wish
man,
they
you can
were
play.
actually awake because I could have told legs can come on.
Oh, right, yeah, 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 awesome. Yeah, well,
And my friend
but
who
yeah, like
worked
a lot
in,
of
but
those
yeah,
bands, you know, they could only play 3 or 4 chords and they just start a band. And that I think that was
yeah,
the inspiration for us. It was just like, oh, well, let's just do it, you know.
yeah.
We only have to play.
You need to
Yeah.
learn a certain amount, and then
I mean, we
yeah,
could all play. It just gives you extra confidence to know that you don't really have to be, you know,
yeah.
super
You don't have
good.
to know absolutely everything, and
Everything.
yeah, and then I think then of course like you had quite a lot of Triple J play and that kind of thing, and you got
Mm,
like the classic kind of like comparisons to, ACDC and that
mm.
kind of thing, which is what everyone I think who plays rock music in Australia gets. Because it's like,
Totally.
it's just
All the
like,
time.
it's just the one thing I guess, like that everybody knows is like rock. So they go, oh yeah, they're like this, you know,
Mm.
and
Oh,
which,
Australian rock, ACDC.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just the same thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and, and I mean, I love ACDC, don't get me wrong, but
Of
yeah,
course.
everyone is like, oh yeah, they're like AC everywhere else, especially in the rest of the world. Australian rock is AC/DC, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's what you are. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah.
and so I was gonna say, so you got throughout this since '99, and then you finally got to tour with some really cool bands, um, like I said with the Datsuns and Donnas, I think, and you did tour with Darkness, didn't you? Or did you tour with them?
Hang on. We toured a lot with the Datsuns, like all around Europe and America and stuff, and
Hmm.
Australia and Japan as well. Donna's, we toured Australia. Darkness, we just did a few shows,
Yeah,
like Sydney and
that
Melbourne.
that must have been fun because I saw them
Yeah,
recently when they played here, and it was the
yeah,
best night. And I didn't even know like many of the new songs, but like they played loads of old stuff as well, and like it was just
yeah,
the best fun ever. And
yeah.
that's
They're a
like
great band.
they're just so much like they just come out and they're like super fun. But then
For sure.
afterwards, they're all like really quiet.
Yeah,
Like they were all like all of them were like insanely like what do you call it? Quiet and very like shy and don't talk at all. Like very,
really?
yeah. I was expecting them to be a bit more
Different.
party animal. Maybe it's the age.
It
Maybe
was
they're
different
too
back
old
then.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's an. Yeah,
yeah. Now they're a bit more like sobered out. They kind of just sit around and hi, how are you, and
yeah,
quiet drink in the corner type thing.
yeah. It's a day of
Rather
the.
than the going crazy. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so there, you've got kind of those, and then I think like there was that you played like some um, probably. Well, I'm assuming you played some big day outs as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We did a lot of big day outs,
mm,
and Splendors and Merediths and stuff like that.
hmm.
Yeah,
I miss the old big day outs.
yeah, me too. It was really fun.
Then
We did
like
one like
up until like I don't know 90. I mean I don't know maybe 2000. I think they were brilliant. And then
yeah,
it kind of went weird, and that's when
yeah,
not long before it left. But yeah, they're amazing. And then I think it was like 2003 or something. You actually got to go and play South by Southwest,
that's right.
which would have been
Yeah.
amazing. Like, what
Uh,
was that? What was that like? Because I've always wanted to go, but it looks like so hectic.
yeah, it was pretty hectic. It was a lot of fun. You know, there was just all these, you know, hip young bands that were kind of touted as being the next big thing there, you know. So it's
Hmm.
kind of cool from that perspective. I think that year from Australia was us and the Drones,
Yep.
and Datsuns were there, Sahara Hot Nights were there.
Oh, I love
Um,
Sahara Hot Nights. Those
yeah, so all these
the
cool,
first albums, so good.
exactly, yeah, that was great. There was so much hype around them, you know. I
Hmm.
think I remember trying to get into their show and we couldn't actually get in. It was just too packed,
Yeah.
you know. But the shows,
Yeah.
you know, like where we did the shows, they were like pretty smallish kind of venues, you know. It's not like we were
Yeah.
playing in big.
Giant. Yeah.
Um, at Alan McGee there, you know, he put
My
up all the
Alan. Yes. Did
Oasis stuff.
oh, you're not on of course not. You're not on Instagram, are you? Obviously.
No, no, that's yeah.
I interviewed
I am
Alan the
now.
other day.
Oh,
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Alan's a really old friend of mine.
awesome. Yeah. Well, Alan
Yeah.
put out our first single in England,
Yeah.
Nasty, back in like, you know, 2001 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then I met him in Texas, in Austin, and I shook his hand and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I've had chickenpox recently," and
Oh
then
no, Alan.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, don't worry, it's cool." And then like a week or two later, we were still touring. I think we were up around Boston or something, and I was just feeling terrible. And then by the time we got to New York,
You had
I
chickenpox?
was getting, I had chickenpox. I had all these red lesions all over my body. It was
Did
really like the
anyone did
worst.
any did anyone ever tell him?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm
You
gonna
got to
tell
tell him,
him.
yeah. But the funny thing was that when we did those New York, when we were in New York, we had like a showcase show to do, you
Yeah.
know, with every single industry person, you know, invited down,
Yeah,
and I had
yeah.
to cancel. I couldn't, like, I was on death's door, you know.
How the hell was it? Was he just finishing chickenpox? Or did he like he
He
look like he
he no, he didn't have any symptoms, but I don't know. Yeah, I got it first time in my life too, so I was
Oh
fucked.
wow. Yeah, because when you get it as an adult, it's worse.
I felt like I was gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like yeah, like when you're a kid, I mean, I don't know about other countries, but when you're a kid in Australia, as soon as your mum or dad finds out someone named the kid's got chickenpox, you're all going to visit. It was
Totally.
like,
Yeah.
go, go, go. They want you to have everyone to get it then. But yeah,
Yeah.
I got it twice when I was a kid, which is like, you're not meant to. So, but at least I haven't got it as an adult. Because yeah, if you get it when you're really old, you can go blind and stuff.
Oh
Like,
man, it was the
it's
worst,
crazy.
physically the worst I've ever felt. And like playing we did play. We had two shows back to back in New York that time, and I had to cancel the showcase, but we did the Datsuns support, and
Yep.
there was a lot of history there anyway, so it wasn't such a bad thing. But um, I just remember feeling like I was going to die trying to play the show. It was just the worst, terrible. And then we were getting on planes and stuff, and everyone was glaring at me on the plane,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah,
quarantined me up the back of the plane.
yeah, yeah. Oh God. And you didn't give it to any of the bandmates?
No, no one else got
Oh,
it.
just you.
Damn it. I
Mate,
wish
you
they
must
did.
you just had it. Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna give Alan some shit for that.
yeah,
Big time.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Do you need someone to to release the new album in the UK? Maybe it's Alan's
Yeah,
turn.
it's us, yeah. Yeah,
I'll speak to him later and be like, "Excuse me, give me a call back, please." Yeah, because
please do.
yeah, I will. I will. Because he's putting out lots of cool shit now as well. Like as well as like lots of new really crazy like
Yeah,
up and coming whatever's in
yeah.
that now. So I mean
I'm
he's
sure
getting
we'd be,
on. What's
I'm
that?
sure we'd be far from on being on his radar though, in terms of what we do.
Nah, not when I get involved. I'm such a bossy. I sent him a thing saying this band is good. You should have this band play. And then he put them on support with Jesus Mary Chain. Because I was like,
Oh,
I just kept on harassing him. I just kept
yeah, yeah,
sending
yeah.
him, and then he did. He put him on with Jesus Mary Chain. So yeah, he
Awesome.
does listen. You just gotta get in there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, Sahara Hot Nights would have been great. But yeah, I've always wondered what that would be like. And I guess that was the time when kind of when that rock started, when everyone started getting annoyed with Aussie rock, like friggin' Jet and what's the other one? Wolf Mother?
Vines.
Yeah. You
Oh, the
know,
Vines.
and the Vines, yeah. And it was like, I think the Vines were more bearable, but it was like, woman over and over again was like really, really, really annoying. And I just, and I think Wolf Mother got like quite a lot of songs in films and shit, and like, you
Mm.
know, I think like they did like the, what do you call it, the Johnny Knoxville and all that thing that they do. Um, and so they got like a whole film clip, dedicated to
Yeah.
that. And so they got
Wow.
like they were just oversaturated big time. And then
Mm.
of course Jet as well. Do you want to be my girl? It's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't. If you sing it one
I
more
remember.
time, you're never gonna get
Yeah.
a girl again. Ah, but yeah, it was like there was the beginning where it was really rad, and then it was like, okay, now we're just churning them out. But I mean,
Mm.
like, I guess Jet and Wolf are still, I don't know what they do, but like, the Vines, I think, did something not that long ago, but nothing
Yeah.
monumental. Like they kind of all fizzled a bit, I
Hmm.
guess. So it's kind of cool that you guys,
Yeah.
but you guys have kind of stayed to your roots and have always been, I guess, like, not that you're not focused on overseas like success, but you've always been more grounded in like, in Australian success and things like that more so. So I think
Yeah.
you've kind
We
of,
just yeah, we just do what we do regardless of any success anywhere, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we had a long time of not doing anything, between the late 2000s and about 2015. Like
yeah,
nothing. So
yeah,
about good 6, 7 years of hardly doing anything, and then it was really good to come back and do another record, and it was really really good to tour Europe in 2017,
hmm,
and that really kind of put the wind in the sails of the band again.
yeah. And there's a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
that
good rock happening over in Europe still.
oh yeah, and good audiences there. Um, there's a different culture where, like in Australia, in the Anglo countries, they always want for the next hip thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
next
yeah,
fad. In Europe,
yeah.
in continental Europe and South America and those kind of places, the rock fans love their rock and roll, and they're
Just
loyal
the
to
way
it.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
saw like you had like a lot of press in like Brazil and stuff like that.
yeah, so that's been a recent thing. So we're looking to like we were going to go to Europe this year to tour again, and looks like we'll be doing that next year, but we'll go to South America as well next year as well
Hmm.
to tour the record there, which will be
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, it'd be dream.
yeah. And
So much fun.
someone's just saying they were at the Berlin show in 2017, and
Oh,
it
cool.
was
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah, awesome. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's just
I love.
like there is such a great rock and roll vibe, and I think I was thinking like when I was living in the UK, I noticed how like the rock was missing, and I was like, um, I was just like, there's nowhere else really, like there's nowhere
Mm.
like Melbourne in terms of the love of like of rock and music and that kind of thing, like that's
Yeah,
just totally all about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I struggled so hard in the UK just to find like one club that played rock music at all. Like, it was just like, what
please.
the hell? Like, it was so hard. Like, it's all about
Yeah,
raves and acid house and like,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Like, they don't really have that rock thing like we do. Um, yeah, at
It's
all. And
such a
then
so much.
the,
Well, most of my favorite music comes out of there. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of good
yeah.
like clubs and stuff, little clubs and stuff over there that really have really cool like nights and stuff for rock and roll. So
Mm.
yeah, it's a weird thing that like for some reason there's just not.
not much there. But then there's some bands that have come out of there, but then there's just nowhere to go to watch it, like, or listen to it. You know what I mean?
That's so true. Yeah.
Like go to like a massive show, like if they're like a stadium worthy band. But like in terms of just like local stuff, it was all about that stuff, or you had like your metal and your punk kind of underground stuff. But yeah, rock and
Yeah.
roll was really a hard thing to find.
Mm.
And like just that, and I think, I mean, being an Aussie and coming from the country as well, like I was like full on rock and roll bogan when I was like a little kid. Like, I already had the mullet ready to go. And like,
Yes.
my dad had a mullet. My dad looked like he was, pretty much like a Malcolm from ACDC. He
Awesome.
like, and so did all my uncles, like all my relatives, like,
That's so cool.
so it's
It
like,
couldn't have been like, I was going to say it couldn't have been more opposite with my family.
oh really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of got good luck in that sense. Like my mum was like not into that stuff. She was like, but my dad was like, I was listening to like ACDC and Kiss and Alice Cooper and Pink Floyd and then like even like 50s and 60s rock, like from when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So, and
Always, my
then
family, like, the household was, it was like Herbie Hancock, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, and
yeah,
it was all like really good stuff, like good jazz
yeah,
and
yeah,
classical, Bach and stuff, like
yeah, yeah.
so. And we got, you know, we had piano lessons when we were little, and then I was playing saxophone all through school. We all played wind instruments.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then
Totes
I play,
nerds.
I learned I was a music nerd. Like I learned for years and years and years.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
and but I
sorry,
didn't
go
learn
on.
guitar though.
Ah,
I just
well,
I just picked
until,
up and just taught myself. And yeah, but it was good though because um, in a way, in two ways, I reckon, because my dad didn't like the kind of music that I like. That he didn't like, AC/DC or Kiss or anything like that. He
yeah,
gave me
yeah,
something to rebel.
yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
feel
That's
like I
kind of
was
the
just
good thing. Yeah, that's where all the
yeah,
good kind of that good energy comes from, is when you're like playing it to piss off your parents. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's gotta have that, I reckon.
yeah.
You know,
Like
I
I was saying to
noticed that with a lot of young bands these days, you can tell that their parents have molded them into this
yeah,
retro rock like kid.
yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's just like there's
yeah.
no rebellion. It's
No,
just
their
all right.
parents have actually paved the whole way for them.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. It's no sort of you gotta there's gotta be a certain amount of pissed offness, in there to
in there,
for
yeah,
it to
yeah,
for
yeah,
it to resonate with me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, like my mum, she hated everything that pretty much that my dad liked. As she was like a Dolly Parton person, so I had to listen to a lot of Dolly Parton, but I actually like Dolly Parton, so it's okay. And I went and saw her live, and I was like, holy fuck! It was like she was singing in my face. It was so good. But so she was like way into Dolly and then some other sort of stuff. She loved her meatloaf, and but I
With tomato
remember,
sauce.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember, no, but do you remember, was it, I don't know if it was Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell or Bat Out of Hell 2, where it had that amazing talking bit at the beginning? And it was like,
Yeah, I,
and there was like this guitar. It was fucking good. There was this talking bit. I remember some friends in high school made that the beginning of their rock show, like on the radio. Like, and it
unreal.
was just so good. But yeah, I think it might have been
Yeah.
Bad Out Hell too. Like, there's just this talking bit on there that's really, really good. But yeah, I mean, I love that first album. I could probably sing most of the words because it's just like always on. And Bruce Springsteen and then Aussie, and then real Aussie music as well.
Yeah, cool.
So like Goanna and, Australian Crawl and like, shit like that. So like I know like all that kind of stuff as well. And then
That's funny. My dad, the only rock and roll my dad would approve of was Chuck Berry and Little Richard.
So my dad loved them as well. Yeah.
But it was like, for him, it was like that was it. And then any white
Blueberry
boys
Hill.
Dad didn't like Elvis because he just considered it a white guy ripping off the black guy's music.
The black guys, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
But
yeah. But like, it sounds like he had pretty good taste, regardless.
really good. Like, I'm actually really grateful because it's made my sort of influences so much wider and broader, and I love all that music as well. Like, I don't only love rock and roll. I love jazz music, and I love classical, and
Yeah.
I'll wig out on Bach for hours.
I love classical shit, and people always freak out.
It's just sort of.
I mean,
I find it really transcendent. It's
yeah. I like the really full on stuff that like you might have a heart attack or you might die or you're gonna you know what I mean? Like I think it's like Litz, I think maybe, and he just does it's full on like just like you're gonna die, like it's all like all up and down and crazy, and and like huge overtures and stuff like that. I'd love to go and see something like that play, but nothing ever plays here that's like, anything of that kind of vein. It's always just like the really mainstream classical stuff. Like they like what's it called? The Dracula one is amazing. And that's like sensational. And then like Philip Glass joined in and did one, and that's even better. And like it's just incredible. But like I absolutely love like violins for some reason. I always have. And so I love like the Kronos Quartet.
Cool.
And they do like all the different weird stuff. So like they have one album that's like mega goth, and they have another album that's like just really bizarre with different noises and things, and and they did the Requiem for a Dream soundtrack, which makes me want to and so they have that. There's like certain songs I would hear on the soundtrack and then want to vomit because I would think of the scene. Like it would actually elicit something from you because it was like from the actual scenes where certain shit happened. It was gross. And that kind of stuff. But I think that having like eclectic music interests and stuff is what shapes how you learn, and obviously, and it comes in all different ways when you're writing, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in fact, a lot of the new stuff I've been writing's like I really love for example, I love it's hard for me to put this, but like I really love like 70s disco rock, like hot stuff. That
Yeah.
I try to get a little bit of that into what I've been writing lately.
Yeah. I'm a huge T-Rex, like get that T-Rex going. Love it. Oh yeah. So it's like so when you're writing, are you like sort of, are you writing stuff yourself like on guitar and lyrics and then taking it to the guys, or how's that work?
Yeah. So I'll do it that way. Especially during this sort of the way we've been in lockdown. Yeah. But yeah, like with the software we have these days, like it's so easy for me to
to share and
chuck down a guitar track, and then I've got a little electric drum set. I can just bash out the drums on that. I've got a bass with that, and then I'll sing so I can effectively record a whole band.
So you can play all the instruments.
Yeah, can play. I can't play the drums anywhere near as good as Wolfie, but it's good enough for the demo,
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I can't sing as good as demo, but it's good enough just to get the song across, But and I'll just bounce it onto a MP3 file and send it to the guys.
Yeah.
And if they like it, they do it. If they don't,
Then it's
it gets ditched.
all right. Yeah. So you don't
But I've
come
had a
back
good
and try
success rate.
try
Recently, I've had a good success rate. They've been enjoying the ones I've done lately.
so
So
far. Oh, that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
So it's got a
yeah.
bit. So it's a bit more like hot disco rock, maybe. The
Oh
next
no, no, no.
album.
There's a little bit of that, and a little bit of sort of funkiness creeping in there, you know. And I'm not
Oh
talking
yeah, yeah.
about not talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers or anything like that. I
Oh
just mean
God, no.
like, there's just a
I
bit of
wasn't
groove,
thinking
more.
that.
There's a bit more funky groove in the riffs and stuff.
Yeah,
That's from yeah.
I was listening to do you know Maggot Brain by Funkadelic?
I don't know their work though. Sorry, yeah,
You just got to look up that song. Just look
yeah.
up Maggot Brain by Funkadelica.
Okay,
It's like,
okay.
and just listen to that one track. It's just like only got some talking, and then it's all instrumental, but it'll like you'll feel like you've just gone like woo, and you got mega stoned, and it's like, and that's like
Cool.
got really cool vibes. Like it's just like
Hmm.
such a good song, and you're just like, how is this? Where did they come up with this? Because it's like this funk album, and then the first
How
song
old's
is,
this?
pardon?
How
It's
old is
quite
it?
it's like what year would it be? Let me have a look. It's quite old. Um, Here we go. Maggot Brain. But yeah, it's like such a good song. Um, it might have been one of the earlier. Doot, doot, doot. So it was the third, yeah, so 1971.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
it's
could.
like it's actually like so it's like there's this talking and then an instrumental song that sounds like psychedelic doom.
Yeah, cool.
It just doesn't seem like it's meant to be there, but it's
Awesome.
amazing. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen some people like cover it like in their own style, and it's so good. But yeah, it was sort of before it was full funk, like when it was just George Clinton sort of thing.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
yeah, which is cool. But I was gonna say, so the single that has come, just like the most recent single is Red Hot.
Mhm.
Um, and you did the film clip was cool for that, I thought. There's lots
It's
of
just
good,
a lyric video.
yeah, and lots of
I
jumping
mean,
around.
oh no, no, that's the
Or is that
previous
the,
single,
oh, I'm getting it confused with the
Hollywood
other
Riot.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, the other one with the
yeah,
jumping. Yeah. So I'm like, that's the one good thing about rock and roll is you can kind of just do a lot of rock and roll jumping around in all the film
are we
clips.
thinking the same? I can't remember jumping in that one, but maybe we did. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there
You
was there
thinking
was definite
first
there
thing
I think it might
late
be the
last
first. Yeah, yeah, I think it might be. Um,
year?
yeah, there was a lot of rock movement going on in there. Um, and yeah, that's the best thing about me, like rock, is that you don't really, if you don't want to spend money on a crazy film clip, you don't have to. You can just play live, like a live type thing, and go. I mean, if you look at ACDC, all of their songs, like back then, back in the day, they were just them playing live, like nothing
Yeah.
else. Like, you know,
Well, that's what we just went for like a basic performance clip for that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's
And
really it comes down to budget, to be honest. Like
yeah, oh
so,
yeah, I'm
like
sure that's what it was with ACDC too. I mean, I still think the best film clip they ever did was the one where they were on the back of the truck and they go through Melbourne,
oh
like
yeah,
in
it's
the
incredible.
city. Like,
Right at the top.
yeah, like that was probably like sort of a big deal, but it's really so simple. Like,
Mm.
and all
I
the,
really I also liked as a kid there's two film clips to You Shook Me All Night Long,
yep.
and one of them has got like them walking down the street, you know, and it's got girls on exercise bikes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Love
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that one.
yeah.
It's a really so funny.
It's like, yeah, they've actually, yeah, there's some really funny ones. And it's like, I was explaining to an American the other day that AC, you know that Malcolm and Angus's brother is in the Easy Beats.
Yeah, George Young.
And yeah, yeah, and he didn't know that. And I was like, you got to listen to this because I love Friday on My Mind. I still think that's such a banger. And
Touch.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I love hearing the stories from Angus about him talking about how
Yeah.
he taught, like he would, the three of them would like play, and even though he played
Mm.
totally different music, and like he would like sort of mentor him and Malcolm.
Yeah, George apparently said to them, "You guys are going to be rock and roll," and that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
He told they were going to be a rock and roll band, and
yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
"Yep, we'll
Okay.
do what we're told."
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because and
When you
then
look at the original ACDC, they're wearing like shiny, glittery things. They didn't really know what direction early on, I
they were
reckon. You know, they
going,
had
yeah, yeah,
sort of like glam and weird, you know?
yeah. And the very first schoolboy uniform was weird. Like the
Yeah,
very, very, very first one was like, what is
yeah,
that? It was like a bad, bad
yeah,
one. It's like,
yeah.
what? Who picked
They
that?
got there.
But eventually,
They got,
yeah, they got there in the
yeah,
end. Um,
yeah.
so what do you,
The
what?
thing about AC/DC, they're one of those bands that every album got better and better and better and better up until Black in Black.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
you get a lot of like say for example the opposite of that is Guns N' Roses. One
yeah,
amazing record and then it's downhill from there.
yeah,
But
yeah. I mean,
like
I still liked Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. They
yeah,
had, there was
I'm not,
some bad, but anything after that, yeah.
not as good as Appetite for Destruction though.
No, never. No. Appetite was like every song was amazing. Whereas Use Your
Mm.
Illusion 1 and 2 were like really good, but like there was always one or two songs you would skip
They
that were
needed to
like
just put it to one record and not. They needed
not
to
all of
cut
it,
out some.
yeah. Some
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
of some of the stuff, yeah. Because like
Oh,
they had the I was trying to think. I mean, because I still think it's the funniest thing ever. We used to go and hide in the bedroom to listen to Get in the Ring. Because you weren't allowed, like, but it was so popular that like parents had bought the CDs for their children, but
uh,
didn't know that Get in the Ring and all these songs
yeah,
were on there. And I
yeah,
remember, like me and like my sister and like two other cousins is all like piling in this, quick, get in here, like, and having it down sort of low, and then like playing and Get in the Ring and being like, whoa, when it gets to swearing. Um, yeah, and that kind of thing. Just lost you for a bit. Hang on. You're right, you just buffered back. But yeah, it was such a like full on like, oh my God, how bad, you know what I mean? And like my dad loved Gunners as well. So my dad loved Metallica, so I was kind of lucky in that sense. Can you still hear me? Oh no? Maybe are you good? Can you hear me? Don't think no. Hang on. Um, all right. I'm just gonna hang up and come back. One sec.